ロサンゼルス・ドジャースは1995年の MLB オールスターゲームで日本人として初めて先発マウンドに立った野茂英雄の軌跡を振り返る特集映像を公開しました。動画の中では当時ドジャースでバッテリーを組み心強い相棒でもあったマイク・ピアザ氏が95年当時を回想し、メジャーに来る日本人選手は野茂英雄に感謝すべきだと先駆者としての功績を強い言葉で称えていました。さらに同じドジャースのユニフォームに袖を通す大谷選手や山本投手も登場し、野茂氏への敬意と感謝の言葉を口にしました。その模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介しますので、ぜひ最後までご覧ください。
Well, the first question is how you feel when you hear this word, Nomo Mania.
The winds of change came in a tornado.
Today it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome Mr. Nomo.
For 30 years, a mutual understanding between two leagues kept Japan's brightest from facing baseball's best.
Swinging and strikes out. That's as good as it gets.
By his success, he opened the doors for future Japanese players.
He's had 50 strikeouts in 4 games to surpass Sandy Koufax.
To see the Nomo Mania throughout the season, every ballpark we went to, the press, the fans, everybody wanted to see Nomo. Everybody wanted a piece of Nomo.
And the tornado's winding up.
But will it strike us out?
There goes the whole ball game.
Hideo Nomo, with all of Japan's eyes on him, as well as the folks here at Dodger Stadium.
A contract loophole, a league in crisis, and a maverick right-hander set the stage for a global sensation that changed the game forever. The story of Nomo Mania. Years after O'Malley's impactful visit, Nomo dominated the Nippon Professional Baseball League, winning Rookie of the Year, MVP, and the Sawamura Award, given to the league's best pitcher, during his time with the Kintetsu Buffaloes. Nomo, who had signed his contract before the 1990 season, was bound to his team for 10 years, according to NPB rules. But overuse by his new manager and a dissatisfaction with his contract situation made him the perfect candidate to challenge a system that had kept Japanese baseball players out of Major League Baseball for nearly 30 years.
So I think people have to remember about Hideo Nomo is that he opened a door that everybody just assumed had been locked. Masanori Murakami pitched parts of 2 years for the Giants in the 60s, but then he returned to Japan because of a contract dispute. That led to the working agreement between the two leagues, which basically shut down the Trans-Pacific exchange of players. That wasn't until Nomo and his representation found a loophole in his contract, the retirement clause, that gave him a path to go to Major League Baseball.
Through my contacts in Japan, I met with Hideo, and how he started the conversation was, I want to play in the Major League Baseball. Not 5 years from now, not 10 years from now, I want to go next year.
日本のプロに入って、で日米野球でメジャーの選手と実際対戦して、やっぱりメジャーの選手はちょっとレベルが違うなっていうのをそこ感じて、やっぱもう一つ上のレベルでやりたいなと思ってたので、日本でやってる間はメジャーでずっとやりたいなと思ってましたね。
So that got me started looking into the rules between the US and Japan, and that's how everything kind of started.
What Nomura discovered was the voluntary retirement clause, a loophole that allowed retired players to sign with any team they wished. But there was a catch. NPB players could only retire with their team's permission. If the Buffaloes caught wind of Nomo's desire to play in the U.S., they would not grant him retirement. Nomura explained that the only way to receive his voluntary retirement would be to convince the team management that it was their idea.
The only way to get him retired was my plan to kind of piss off the club. And in order to do that back then was to demand high money, not to sign, and especially he had 6 years to go on his free agency. We wanted a 6-year guaranteed contract. My first negotiation, I was kicked out of the room. And we just kept knocking, and one day it came that they really got pissed off and they finally said, either sign this or we're gonna retire you. And Hideo came running down out of the elevator, I still remember. He says, we did it. I said, what happened? He says, yeah, he got really mad and he said, either you sign this contract or we're gonna retire you. And I said, I'll retire. And that was a moment that opened up the gate.
Now, when he executed that loophole, the response back in Japan wasn't one of celebration. He was not hailed as a hero. He was looked at as a villain, someone who had betrayed his home country.
Every day I was had death threats. Every single media was against me, against Hideo. It was tough days, but down in my heart, I always said I did the right thing. I didn't violate any rules. These are the rules that the teams made, and I just followed it and did what I had to do as his representative.
A player daring enough to challenge the system was soon met with an owner whose rich history with the country of Japan left him eager to sign one of its stars.
When Hideo was available, I think all the baseball teams, major league teams in the United States were interested. We were keenly interested. He started a tour in the United States. He went to Seattle with his agent, he went to San Francisco, and we were the third stop.
Well, now that I can talk, I didn't have any intention to meet with the Dodgers then. We had about a week in LA, and then we were going to go to New York. Knowing what the Dodgers' history is, I was kind of waiting on if they would call. They did call. So we kind of prolonged our stay in Los Angeles and told the Yankees, well, we got to be in LA a little longer than what we expected.
And we met one morning. I said, I don't want to talk about money. I don't want to talk about contract. I just want to talk as a person. I want to know him. I want him to know me and us. Because I wanted him to hear me express my thoughts about the organization and about how he would fit in. After the meeting, we knew that he was to leave the next day to go to New York. And I said, Hideo, are you available to meet tomorrow? And he looked at his agent, and they talked in Japanese together. And the answer came back from Hideo that yes, he would like to see us again the next day. And sure enough, the next day we met and we started talking more details about spring training, what we would do to support him, to help him, and let him focus on his job and not be distracted by the media and other things. And that meeting went extremely well also. And I believe the next day we signed a contract, and he never went to see Mr. Steinbrenner. His tour ended, and he became a Dodger. Happy moment.
The biggest reason I think we signed with the Dodgers was, I think, it's not the Dodgers, it's not Los Angeles, it was really Peter O'Malley and how he kind of welcomed Hideo and his wife, Kikuko. It was a warm welcoming that it's hard to explain by words, but it was like heart to heart. And Peter certainly understood where Hideo was from and how he'd been treated by the media. And he was really guarding him to make sure that he was happy and then to become a successful player.
行くってメジャーリーグに行けるってアメリカでプレーできるっていうのが分かってからはもう嬉しくてしょうがなかったっていうか、次の高いレベルでやれるっていうのでもワクワクしてましたね。
For many years, Hideo Nomo has dreamed about pitching in the major leagues. I admire his courage, his commitment, his dedication, and we're excited that he has selected the Dodgers to play baseball in the United States. Today, it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome Mr. Nomo.
Due to the ongoing player strike, Nomo signed a minor league contract with a $2 million bonus and reported to Vero Beach for spring training, and the media attention soon followed.
The media attention on Nomo-san was huge. I'll never forget when he showed up at Dodgertown, which is where we had spring training in Vero Beach, Florida. We were waiting for him, and we didn't know what the arrival was going to be like, but there was probably at that time 50 to 75 Japanese media members waiting at Dodgertown over in the residences where he was pulling in, and he saw that all these Japanese media members were waiting. Well, they grabbed their cameras and they started running after him, and he had instructed the driver just to keep driving in circles around the residences until finally all of the reporters and cameramen had just dropped off. That was the first time we noticed the attention that he was going to have.
Well, I have never seen him pitch, but I've seen films of him and know something about his background and the success that he had. So right now, we're hoping and looking for him to be one of the starters on our pitching staff in 1995.
Well, I think all of us were pretty unsure about anything with Hideo. When we got to Vero Beach that year, there hasn't really been any Japanese pitchers at that time. And then we saw him pitch. And the first time we saw him pitch, we're like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's really good. We weren't quite expecting that. And we said, well, it's spring training, he's in good shape and he's got something to prove. And then once the game started in spring training, he was even better. And he got better, and he got better, and he got better. It was unbelievable. I mean, you looked at him, some of those games, you go, I don't know how anybody hits this guy.
He started out in spring training. I remember we were playing, I think it was the Yankees in Fort Lauderdale, and he goes out to the mound and he's just blowing away players who had never seen him. And the media director for the Yankees came up to me and said, the boss wants to see you. And I said, Steinbrenner? And he said, yeah. He said, I'll take you down to his box. And I'd never met George, but I go down to his box and I open it up and he says, real quick, who is this guy? Where'd you get him? And I said, that's Hideo Nomo. And we actually, signed him from the NPB. He was a player in Japan. You signed him? Yeah. As a free agent? Yeah. Okay, get out of here. That was it.
The uncertainty of the season came to an end when the strike ended on April 2nd, 1995. It was decided that a 144-game season would begin on April 25th.
アメリカ来てからも、マイナーキャンプから始まって開幕しましたけど、ストが終わって開幕しましたけど、そこには開幕にはロースターには入ってなかったので、 早く投げたい早く投げたいっていうのがもう自分の中であったので。
After a tune-up start with the Bakersfield Blaze, it was announced that Nomo's next start would be with the Dodgers against the Giants on May 2nd.
We are very pleased, we are very proud to have Hideo Nomo start Tuesday afternoon's game for the Dodgers in San Francisco.
I think more than anything, like looking back on that time, the weight was a ton more than just coming over here and pitching. I don't care, you know, if you grow up here in the United States and everything's great and comfortable, whatever, it's difficult to play in the big leagues. So now you've got a guy coming over from another country. He's in a completely foreign environment. And then just the fact that he was on his own. Like there weren't other Japanese players here. We had an interpreter, but he was on his own here.
He had an incredible ability to focus and block out distractions because, I mean, from the beginning, his media throng was intense. So a lot of pressure. I mean, he was a modern day pioneer, without a doubt. I think if he would have failed, he probably would have set the modern movement of Japanese players coming to the major leagues. He probably would have set them back at least a decade, maybe more, in my opinion.
As Nomo was set to make his highly anticipated debut on May 2nd, 1995, fans and players alike didn't know what to expect.
As long as he don't put it right here, because I'm going to lose it. Hit it right out the ballpark.
Okay.
So he can throw everything else, but he put it in the wrong spot, I'm going to hit it out of the ballpark.
And when the tornado touched down at windy Candlestick Park, baseball would never be the same.
And on the mound, making his major league debut, Hideo Nomo.
Strike three call. Swinging him in, he struck him out. Bond sends it the other way. And Ashley will come in and he'll make the catch. Nomo throws. Williams swings and misses. Fifth strikeout for the young right-hander. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out.
90 pitches for Hideo Nomo through 5 innings. You see his line, just 1 hit, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. A fantastic debut for the rookie right-handed pitcher, Dodgers Hideo Nomo.
Nomo was impressive in his first start in the big leagues, and although he was not the winning pitcher that day, Nomo Mania was beginning to build.
When Nomo debuted, I was 6 years old, and being one of countless Japanese Americans in the Southland, myself along with every one of those kids, we were all doing the tornado windup in the backyard. And, you know, I was 6, so didn't have the coordination and balance. So I was probably falling all over the place. But I do remember the craze that Nomo Mania brought, not just to the game of baseball, but specifically to the Japanese American community.
There was just a frenzy globally with Hideo making his debut for the Dodgers. For a player like Hideo to come over here and to represent an entire country and be the first one to break barriers, that was a lot of weight on him.
And then you would see whenever he pitched that the crowds would just flock to the stadium. Certainly media would flock to the stadium, but on every pitch that he threw, you'd see flashbulbs going off back in the day that was a thing. You realized it was like an event every time that he was on the mound.
The strike 2 pitch is a fastball, got him, man. He was just frozen. Looking for the splitter, thinking about a curve, and the fastball right down the pipe. That's 10.
And we had plane loads of tourists coming from Japan just to come and watch Dodger games because of him.
すごい嬉しかったというか、やっぱお客さんたくさん来てもらって、やっぱり自分たちがいい試合するとやっぱり球場が沸くので、いい緊張感になるというか、でもその一旦球場出て外までその自分の影響が市内だロスだったり日本だったりっていうのがそこまでこう自分のことニュースが大きくなってるとはその時は全然思ってなかったです。
I mean, we were at Dodger Stadium. I remember one time we were walking out of the clubhouse to go into the bathroom. Media was walking in, following him to go take a leak. But that's what he was dealing with. So you've got to have the patience, you've got to have the flexibility, plus you've got to perform. And he did all of it.
There goes the runner, the 3-2 pitch. Got him looking, called strike 3. And Nomo leaves him standing again. 14 strikeouts. He's allowed only 2 hits. And Nomo comes to the dugout with the...
With each start, the perception of Nomo by his home country began to turn. And when the calendar flipped to June, Nomo took the mound at Dodger Stadium, still seeking his first win.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Hideo Nomo, a string of no decisions, like a letterman from Notre Dame. He's got that ND all over the place against the Giants, Colorado, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and New York. There he goes again, and it's swung on and missed, so the splitter has come to life.
The tornado, oh man, one of the greatest windups ever in the history of baseball. And it was really amazing how he was able to repeat that with all the stress and tension he put on him by the big twisting motion. I mean, it was really amazing, but he needed that delivery because it made his splitter forkball like so unhittable. It just came out of nowhere. And I saw some of the funniest swings ever from guys that I've never seen like that before. And a lot of that has just the deception of that delivery.
His stuff was so good that we didn't really particularly worry about hitters per se. I just tried to get him to feel comfortable and throw strikes because his stuff was devastating. Obviously, the forkball was one of those pitches that's unhittable when it's on. I mean, I saw, and you could look at the tapes, but I mean, he made a lot of really, really good hitters look bad.
And the 2-1 pitch on the way is swung on, a little fisted pop fly to Karros, and Eric will put it away. So Hideo Nomo has gone a wonderful 8 innings. That might be it for him. Worrell is down in the bullpen. A great performance by the young right-hander, and he gives the board to Todd Worrell. So on a walk and a hit batter, the Dodger 2-1 lead in some jeopardy with 2 out in the 9th. Here's the 1-2 pitch to David Segui. Worrell's fastball is a ground ball smothered by DeShields, throws to first and got him. Hideo Nomo getting 5s and hugs as he comes on the field. So on the night that Nomo wins, the Dodgers win a tough one 2-1. We'll be back right after this.
初勝利した後、なんかチームがやっとメジャーリーガーとして認めてもらったような感じがしました。そこからもっと居心地が良くなったというか、はい、そんな感じがしました。
With his first major league victory, the tornado was out in full force.
Until his first win, he was still very skeptical by the media, even though he was pitching well. And after his first win, I mean, the whole country turned and treated him as a hero. And with All-Star coming up, it just exploded.
Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Nomo deals, splitter, got him swinging. That's the 3rd time he has struck out Vinny.
今までアマチュアから日本のプロからやってきた自分のスタイルをメジャーリーグで出すっていうなんかそういうふうに思ってたので、それ自分のスタイルで、毎試合勝ちたいなとはすごい思ってました。
I mean, Mark Guthrie, who was in the bullpen, would always have this funny saying. He said, "Oh, it's tornado time." He goes, "Might as well just go home." He goes, "You're not going to need the bullpen tonight."
Over the month of June, he compiled a 6-0 record in 6 starts with a minuscule 0.89 ERA and 60 strikeouts in 50 1/3 innings pitched, and finished the month with back-to-back shutouts, each with 13 strikeouts, a first in Dodger history. His unprecedented success catapulted him into a stratosphere of popularity that the Dodgers and the league desperately needed.
As Nomo goes to the windup, and the 3-2 pitch to Weiss, swung on and missed. He's had 50 strikeouts in 4 games to surpass the great Sandy Koufax. There was a K in Sandy's name, We're going to have to put a silent K in Nomo.
Despite the attention that swirled around the tornado, Nomo was single-minded in his focus to prove himself against major league hitters. That determination was rewarded when he was named the National League starting pitcher for the 1995 All-Star Game in Arlington, Texas.
まあもう一つのいい思い出っていうか、一回でも出れてよかったなと今思ってもそう思えるような出来事を、試合にオールスターゲームに投げれたっていうのはもう今でもすごいいい思い出です。
Well, it was really important because, again, the fact that the game was coming off the strike in '94, so it was very important for us to put on a good show, to really try to win the fans back. And the fact that Nomo came in at that time made it very interesting and really captivated a lot of interest from the fans.
And quite a sight on the mound. Who would have figured Hideo Nomo, last year pitching in Japan. Now the 1-2 pitch to Lofton.
Here it is.
Waved at and missed. And down goes Martinez.
Well, here you are, 5 American League hitters, 3 down on strikes. They were looking for the fork ball. He threw the express right by him.
I was very proud and happy for him because it was a tremendous amount of pressure. It was where interleague play didn't start until '97. So when you start thinking, okay, he's making hitters in the National League look pretty bad. Now you're getting in the American League and making some guys look pretty bad as well. It shows that I think didn't matter where he was playing. When his stuff was on, it was pretty devastating.
His dominance continued after the Midsummer Classic. In a tight division race with the Rockies, the new ace proved to be a steady presence as the Dodgers aimed to reach the postseason for the first time since 1988.
I will say after the fact, like this guy had the biggest set of you-know-what ever when it came to pitch. Like his arm could be falling off, he'd take the ball. And those sort of things endeared him to all of us. It was like, leave me out there on the mound until I die.
I think you can tell he was not afraid to take the ball in big games. He wanted the ball in big games. We looked at him to be the stopper when the team was struggling a little bit. When he went out there, we knew if he was on, we had a better chance than average of winning that game. So great pitchers, guys that really want to compete, that's what they're remembered for.
As Nomo continued to rack up strikeouts, the division race came down to the final weekend of the season. With a chance to clinch the NL West, the Dodgers turned to their ace to pitch them to a division title.
Isn't it interesting? With all of the publicity, with all of the so-called hype, with the spotlight on Nomo all year, here he is with a chance to pitch the Dodgers to the division title. And Hideo Nomo takes the mound with the blue and begins to loosen up. Well, we'll see about him tonight. That takes care with the fork ball. Chased a bad ball, didn't he, Evis? And he strikes out. So Nomo picks up 3 strikeouts in 4 outs. That's 5 strikeouts for Hideo in 2 1/3 innings. So he struck out 5 of the 7 outs.
So 3 on, 2 out, 1-1 tie, 6th inning, and here's Nieves. Jody Reed at third, Tony Gwynn at second, Scott Livingston at first. 2 men out, bottom of the 6th inning. Nieves probably has more power than anyone in the Padres organization, and Nomo trying to put him away and keep the game even. Crucial moment in the Dodger season. Now the 0-2 pitch. He got him swinging. 9 strikeouts for Nomo.
There's number 11 for Hideo Nomo, and I believe that will be his sayonara song for tonight. What a game he pitched just when the ball club needed him. He's 3 outs away from a big victory. It would be his 13th, and it would clinch the division. Todd Worrell down in the bullpen will apparently pitch the 9th inning to no one's surprise. Dodgers 7, Padres 2. They're like thoroughbreds waiting for the bell to ring to jump out of the starting gate. Only they want to jump to celebrate. Here comes a fly. It will be the honor to Delino DeShiel. That's it. Here they go. Crazy. And why not? There are a lot of Dodger fans here tonight enjoying it to the utmost. And the Dodgers file off and the adoring multitude lets them have it one more time.
But I'm going to tell you something. Hideo Nomo won my 1,500 victory, and then he won one of the biggest games of my life today. What a great performance he put on tonight. You know, this guy is such a tremendous competitor and a winner. He really arose to the occasion. He knew how big his game was, and buddy, he did it.
With his first major league season in the books, the Baseball Writers Association of America named Nomo the 1995 Rookie of the Year, the fourth consecutive Dodger to win the award. His award-winning season now proved that Japan's brightest could compete in the big leagues.
So keeping in mind how Nomo was looked at when he initially made the jump, right? When people looked at him as a villain, and then you play out that season, he wins Rookie of the Year, he starts the All-Star game, he has really an unbelievable amount of success. That totally turned the narrative upside down on his head, and he became this global sensation, this superstar, this internationally beloved figure in baseball.
Hideo Nomo changed baseball because he was a pioneer, a modern-day pioneer at a time where in Japan, players were not seen as major league players. We knew they had talent, but it would have taken someone special to bridge that gap and step out of his comfort zone and take a risk, and he did. Every Japanese player that has come to the major leagues and has been successful owes Hideo Nomo a debt of gratitude.
He opened the door. He was the pioneer. Thank goodness he was a success, making it easier for others to follow him. And I don't think he's really gotten the credit for being that pioneer, but I'm extremely happy that the Dodgers today have that talent from Japan.
もう本当に尊敬の、もともと本当にこうすごいっていうのは思ってましたけど、ますますこう自分が1年目を経験してその凄さが本当にこう実感したといいますか、もし自分がそうだったらこのシーズンちゃんと過ごせてるのかなっていうのはすごく思いました。
You're starting to see the best players in the world and the best players from Japan starting to come into the U.S. And that's ultimately the goal, because this is the best game in the United States that you want the best players to be playing in. And Hideo was probably right at the forefront of making all that happen.
そうです。やっぱり前例がないというか、初めてのこう周りにそういう人たちがいない中で、やる挑戦っていうのはやはり難しいと思いますし、歴史を作ってきた偉大な選手だということは間違いないと思うので、今後もそれは変わらないと思いますし、全ての人が尊敬しているそういう選手だと思ってます。先ほども言いましたけど、僕自身はそういう野茂さん自身の挑戦する気持ちっていうところにこう背中を押されてここまで来れたと思ってます。
And there's the first Dodgers strikeout for Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani sends one in the air, the other way, back it goes, gone! One of a kind player, one of a kind season. Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Nomo. Nomo, there you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right.
球場で本当に応援してくれたファンの人にはもう今となってはもっと感謝してるっていうか、すごい自分自身も本当ね、マウンド上でエキサイトしてましたし、一つ一つのプレーでこう、球場があんなに沸くっていう経験もね、なかなかできないですし。
Boy, they are going wild for Nomo.
本当球場に応援に来 くれた人たち、もう本当に感謝してますね。
Now I want you to say this. I want you to learn how to say this. Say, I bleed Dodger blue. Great.
Much like the force of nature that earned him his nickname, Hideo Nomo was inevitable. His willingness to go against the system, his unwillingness to change his windup, and his determination to succeed proved to be unstoppable. With his historic rookie season, the tornado blew hitters away, changed the game of baseball, and cleared a path for other Japanese stars to follow.
最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。今回の動画についてどういう感想を持たれましたか？ぜひコメント欄で意見や感想をお聞かせください。チャンネル登録やグッドボタンを押していただけると励みになります。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。